I've been drumming, well, I'd probably say I've started hitting drums in the year of '98 because I was just curious. I seen people doing it at the church I go to, and one day my curiosity just sparked and I just started messing with them. But I probably wouldn't say until the year 2000, like late 2000, the gift was dropped. I was actually playing drums for a service we were going to in New Year's, and a friend of mine was on keyboards and organ, and we were decent enough just to keep a good beat, keep the tempo going, and everything was straight. But the next thing you know is that everyone had their eyes closed, heads bowed down and everything, but the next thing you know is you hear something going. People seriously thought that we switched out musicians, and my stepdad was the first one that caught it, and he had his head down and he did this. He looked up slowly and he had to lean to make sure it was us. And from where I was sitting, it was like Moses parting the Red Sea. You saw the whole congregation go like this. Everybody's leaning. See if it was us. So, that's about that long. I got started at church, started playing learning gospel music. But I'd probably say how I really got started was sitting down with some plastic cooking spoons, beating on a footstool, just playing to some music that my mom and dad happened to be playing, and I'm trying to keep a decent beat to it. Now my mom just showed me the basic setup. She's like, yeah, this hand goes here, this hand goes here, the bass drum's gonna be right here, and then she can move the feet to the beat. And that's how I got started. At first, I really didn't have any inspiration until a few years later down the road. And one of them was a high school known as Ugali in Florida. And that's where marching started kicking in for me. When I wanted to learn how to play the snare drum. But when it comes to other drummers, I didn't really know a whole lot about any until I got to high school. First drummer I knew about was the legendary Buddy Rich. And then I moved up to Gene Krupa, and a few years later on down the road I started discovering some other drummers from gospel chops. Thomas Pridgeon, Eric Moore, Tony Royster Jr., and I also know about Phil Collins. Then later on down the road I started just digging through like just other drummers such as Dave Weckl, Steve Gadd, Billy Cobham, Dennis Chambers, Terry Bozzio. And each and every last one of them has a lot of inspiration when it comes to me. They show me that it's possible. Like, for instance, Tony Royster Jr., he's living the dream that I'm shooting for. And I'm like, wow, if he can do it, so can I. And one day I plan on putting in some good work with him. Drumming, well, before I even started drumming, I was into basketball, and I was into acting and things like that. One of my biggest dreams was I wanted to be in movies. And up to this day I still do. But ever since I got turned on to drumming, all my sports passion went out the window. And the passion for being in movies, that's just been sent to the back. I wasn't involved in drama class or anything like that. I've been involved in plays before, but I never took any drama classes or things like that. But people said from the plays that I've been involved in, they said I had a lot of talent in that ballpark. And sometimes people would tell me, hey, can you act out this part? You act out this part, because they want to see me just acting a fool at times. But even when, I'd probably say from my 7th grade year of junior high all the way up to my junior year, a lot of people at my school, even my band director himself in my high school, have told me that my style was whack, I was garbage, I'm never gonna make it, I might as well just give up. But there was always this voice in the back of my head saying, block that out, don't listen to them, keep going, because there were many days where people want to charismate my drumming. And then to add on top of that, charismate who who I am, how I dress, my hair, my wardrobe, the whole 9 yards. But instead, I chose to keep going. And there's been days where I've actually been beat up by my own drum line. And I ain't talking about once or twice either. I had sticks stolen from me and broken and stuff like that. And then they'd be begging me. There were days where they would forget their sticks at home because we would have to play later on that night. They would beg me for a pair of sticks. And me being so merciful, I actually lent out of there. But he didn't get them sticks back in the same condition. They were shredded. But once I moved to a second high school, my senior year, I got transferred. It's like things just started to turn around. At Lake Weir High School, it's like somehow I just became some kind of music star. A whole lot of people was asking about me. So a few people knew my name, but didn't know my face. They've been hearing about me saying, and they've been asking around, hey, who is this new guy that just got transferred here from some place called Rockledge High School? And I'm hearing that he's got a lot of drumline skills under his belt and a whole lot of other drum set material in his belt. And there'd be days where I'd be playing outside, like during lunch. I had my snare pad set up. I'm just playing around, just getting fancy, just keeping my technique up and trying to keep my form together and things like that. And sometimes I would draw a crowd and some people walk by and they give me a thumbs up and things like that. Then one day I get like 4 or 5 stools put together and I'm playing like quad style as well. I called it the stool kit. Sometimes I stand up, sometimes I would sit down. And ever since then, things have been getting better and better for me. And now that I'm in the military, I've gotten fans. Nowadays, like when I was in boot camp, I got to play for a church service there. My whole division was shouting, oh, Ashe, Ashe, 354, Reverend 354, and stuff like that. Then I went to Pensacola at my age school. I was always drumming on the field, hitting my pad, stuff like that. And another guy that I knew was a fellow drummer. He was saying, hey man, I'm getting all these texts about you. You'd be walking by and they'd text me saying, who is this guy drumming on the field? Man, he's good. Who is he? And I was shocked. I was surprised. And nowadays, at my command, CBN 77, a whole lot of people like what I do. There's one person in particular who sees me drumming in church while we're underway. She says she loves listening to me. She thinks I'm a fantastic drummer and things like that. Now, when it comes to church, that's not what I go for. I don't drum for the fame. I actually drum to worship, but on the side, I actually drum to keep my skills up. And fame, if that comes, all right, so great. If not, I'm not worried about it. Right now, since I'm currently military, I plan on finishing out my contract. And a lot of people have been telling me in the first place, why are you in the military? Like, why are you there? Because they see what I can do. And and the answer to that is military is a stepping stone for my life. This is something where Messiah needs me to take a step up higher. That way he can get me to where he's trying to get me to go, toward the dream, and maintain it. Some people, they love to jump to the dream, and once they get there, they can't maintain it. They hold on to it for a little while, but then some stuff goes wrong. Next you know is they lose it, or the dream just goes to trash. Well, what he's doing with me is he's teaching me a lot of things through the military, and I have like, for instance, like discipline, patience, just trying to be humble and things like that. And that way, once I get toward the dream, I can actually get there and stay there. There's a saying called, many are called, but few are chosen. With that being said, many people are called to live a certain dream in their life, but the few of them are chosen to do so because they don't have that discipline, the humility, and all the other characteristics to go with it to hold on to it. So, when it comes to the future, I plan on staying for one more contract and possibly cross-rated to the music department. And afterwards, I'm gonna get out and it's gonna be nothing but music for me. By the time I get out, I'll be set. All I need to do is just music. I'm gonna try to set up my own studio and possibly go to school for audio engineering and producing and even photography. That way, I have cameras set up in my whole studio. I'll be able to do videography and things like that in my own studio. And later on down the road, get on stage with the big dogs like Tony, Thomas, Eric, and all the other people. There's a few people who I know have talent, but they aren't famous yet. For instance, Jordan Clark, Caitlin Thomas, and there's a few people I can make a list, like Kyle Miller, who's currently going to school. Well, he's about to go to school at MI, Musicians Institute, in Hollywood, California, and I'm thinking about going there myself. But it's something that I'm really shooting for. I've been praying about, and I'm waiting patiently because good things come to those who are patient. Yes, there is. Matter of fact, I've had a dream one night. I happened to be sleeping, and I had a dream that somehow, some kind of way, I was back home visiting my first high school, known as Rockridge High, which is in Florida. And I was just checking out the jazz band, seeing what was going on, seeing what they were doing. And I noticed that the drummer was struggling. And so I'm looking at his music, so I said, okay, well here, allow me to show you something. And I started playing it for him a little bit. I said, okay, I see where your struggle is on this measure right here. So instead of going this way with it, try going in this direction. And he actually tried it and he got it right. He started playing out even better than what he was. So now I'm just roaming around campus, and next thing I know is someone grabs me by my shoulder from behind, and I look back. To my surprise, it was the great Snoop Dizzle, Snoop Dogg. And he said he saw what I was doing. He's like, oh man, I seen what you doing over there. You know what? I got an offer. What I'm doing out here is I'm looking for some young talent for my next show, and I really need me a drummer. So you know what? And he gave me one of his cards. Hit me up at this address right here tomorrow afternoon if you're interested. And then we gon' talk business, cause you got talent. You know what? Just hit me up. If you're interested, come see me tomorrow. So it rolls around. And I knock on the door, there's 2 bodyguards standing there, and I'm all dressed up. I'm trying to look decent, trying to look professional here. And the bodyguards are asking me, can we help you, yada, yada, yada. And Snoop comes out, he's like, oh, no, don't even worry about it, he's good. He's like, come on in, man, let's talk business. And then I wake up. So I wouldn't mind doing some work for him. And there is one thing in particular that I also want to do that's somewhat out of the ordinary. I want to work with the hip-hop violinist known as Mary Ben-Ari from Israel. I've seen what she can do. I've heard what she can do. That girl bad is all bad. And sometimes I got her music on my iPod. Sometimes I will drum to it. But one day I also want to put some work with her. Drop some of my beats to a violin. And another thing that I want to do is out of the blue is drum to house music. For instance, DJ Tiesto, he can lay down his house beats, and I can drum with him, drum on top of it, and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited about my future and meeting other musicians and other people who deal with music, because even they would tell you one good thing about music is when it hits, you feel no pain. Improv experiences. Well, when it comes to that, there's been many times where me and my family would go to church and worship service is about to start and there is no drummer. And sometimes they be asking us, like, hey, can anybody drum? You know, how to drum or play an instrument or anything. So slowly I put my hand up like this and they're like, come on, let's see what you can do. And the thing is, I haven't rehearsed anything, nothing at all. Like the choir and all the other musicians rehearsed, but I'm just sitting there, okay, where's this going? So right before I start, I pray about it, okay, just lead me into it, just guide me through, because this is all you. And I started playing, and it would sound as if I was rehearsing with them the whole time. And this hasn't happened once or twice, or 3-4 times. It's happened many times. And even in one of my movies, known as A Taste of My Future, I had done a studio session with some guys who've been waiting to see me, who can do some stuff on piano and keyboard. All that stuff in that movie was all improv. They're improving, I'm improving, we're just following each other. And even some of the stuff you've seen today, like all this that you see back here, none of this was rehearsed. It's all off top of the dome, it's all improv. Jordan Clark? Oh man. I remember when I came to the bush and I got checked in and everything, and I happened to be practicing, and one day he happened to stop, and next thing I know is he pulled out some sticks of his own, and he was asking me, hey, what are you doing? Like, what's this? And I'm showing him some marching techniques and some other things like that, and then we started just breaking off into a conversation. So yeah, you ever heard of this drummer and this drummer and this drummer and yada yada yada? And I'm lost. I have no idea who he's talking about. I'm like, nah, who are these people? Like Steve Gadd, Dave Weckl, Billy Cobham, one of his favorite, Frank Zappa. And I'm like, no, who are they? So he would tell me a little bit of history about them, and he would show me some music that they have done, some of their solos and some of their band material. And one of the things that I like the most that he's taught me is how to use double bass. I never even knew anything about double bass until I met Jordan Clark. Because one day I've seen him practicing on his pad set, and I noticed he had 2 bass pedals. And I was curious, I'm like, okay, how is this happening? And especially when it comes to the speed, that just blew my mind. So one day we happened to have a talent show on the ship, and he asked me, hey, you want to try throwing in some double bass? I was like, I was real shaky, I wasn't gonna lie. I'm like, you know what, just put it in there and I'll see what I can do. And once in a while you hear a doom 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 stuff like that. And then I happened to one day buy a pad set of my own and bought my own double bass, and he was teaching me some techniques, like when it comes to working with the metronome and things like that. So I've been working on it myself and trying to keep my feet in tempo and try to keep them quick and try to control them too. But yeah, Jordan Clark has showed me a lot when it comes to drumming. The history, where it's been, where it's going, a whole lot of artists, a lot of bass pedal technique. And I look forward to putting in more work with him and keep going, because my mentality is there's nothing I can't learn from another drummer. No matter who it is, no matter what kind of experience they have, no matter how long they've been playing. Even if it's someone that hasn't been playing as long as me, or someone that's been playing many years longer than me, there is nothing I can't learn from them, because I believe that no matter who you are, you can learn something from someone else, and vice versa.